Hi guys, I'm
Hola.
Alexandra at Wickfree. Oh, look at him, Mr. Bilingual. Welcome to Javier in Spain.
Me llamas Scott.
Mi llamo Alejandra Wickfree, and this is our Scentsy story, which we've been asked to share by our great friend Debbie Pitts-Palmer, who is an amazing Scentsy lady and team leader from America. And she's asked us to share with you guys why we joined Scentsy and what it's done for us, our business, and also give you guys some tips on starting a new business. Mr. Scott is just misbehaving in the background.
I've been told not to fidget in the background, but you know, I can't just stare at a camera for 20 minutes. I got an interesting stat about Debbie, if you don't mind me sharing it.
Yep.
This is what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I heard Debbie say this. She is the first African-American Scentsy director in Scentsy. So even though she's a star director, but director and above in Scentsy.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, please correct me, but that's what I heard.
So that is very, 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 very cool. So we want to share with you the Scentsy story. Whoops, sorry. The Scentsy story is something that people do. It's where you share why you became involved in Scentsy and what it has done for you. So we're going to try and be really brief because this is nearly six years of Scentsy life fitted in. So
Once upon a time,
I was a princess and I lived in Ireland, and I was with a handsome prince who played rugby and also owned his own Scentsy business, but I could not find work.
Scentsy business?
Oh no, you didn't have your own Scentsy business. You had your own other business. But I could not find work because the evil money men had destroyed the country. So I couldn't find work, so I set up my own company selling fair trade goods, which helps disadvantaged people all over the world. I had to do every aspect of my business. So I had to buy the goods, I had to get them to market, I had to take pictures, I had to write the website, had to do the accounts, blah, 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 blah,
Had to send the products out.
Had to send the products out. I was the entire part of what the business was called Fair Era. I was Fair Era. And I had to do everything. Mr. Scott was very supportive.
Can I just say something early on in the video? Is like, most people when they say they want to start a business, they want a coffee shop, they want a shop, and all the background work, they don't ever think of the background work which comes with it. And we have experience of that background work. And then becoming Scentsy consultants, all that background work is taken out of the way.
It's all done for you, really. It is.
Sorry, taking off the beaten track there. Get back to that.
Yeah, but you know, seriously, what I'm saying is when someone offers you the chance to join a business and only pay, 99 euros or $99, snap their hand off, because all the hard work is done, and I have been there. Anyhow, come to 2010, I have the potential of a very successful business. And it took me a lot to start my own business because, I've been to university, I've got a university education, I had high class but very, average jobs, writing speech for politicians and other things, making people sound very clever. But I couldn't get out of my little box to understand that I could be my own boss, and it took a lot of courage and being unemployed and very bored to make me do that. Anyhow, so we come to 2010, it snows in Ireland, which is very rare, and it closes my business down because I'm unable to sell all the products I brought in for Christmas, which is where I make approximately 60% of my sales in the year. It puts me out of business. I've already suffered a very severe family loss during that year, 2010, and I'm struggling with depression, and Scott is struggling to hold the family together. And that was it. We started 2011. The only bright spot was that you had a good business at that point. Scott had an events company, and it was doing well, wasn't it?
It was doing very well.
It was doing very well. It was still doing great.
And I was probably only 26 at the time, and it was a big learning curve in my business career. Is that what you want to call it? Because when things are going well, you think it's going to last forever. And in business, it doesn't last forever unless you've got a sense of business where you can continue to make it last forever.
Yeah, it can be a legacy business that you pass on. So I spend the beginning half of the year going to different trade shows all over the world trying to find ideas, go to America, go to Murder Mystery, set up a Murder Mystery company. See, I'm finding my entrepreneurial roots by now. Try a few other different things, and then I get a random email about Scentsy, and it tells me about this amazing product, this candle that you don't have to set fire to and delivers amazing fragrance. And I think, wow, that's the product I wish I'd invented, and I still say it to this day. And I have had the pleasure of meeting Colette Gunnell, one of the creators of Scentsy, and I just think, wow, that is the product I wish I'd invented. But without the hassle of inventing and owning your own company, obviously. And I'm blown away with it, and I drag him to see it, don't I, in Belfast?
Yeah, I'm normally like the chilled out one who's up for anything.
Oh, absolutely.
And Alexandra's Mrs. Stiff as a like a piece of board. You know, has to know all the geeky stuff.
Risk assessment.
Risk assessment, won't take a risk, you know, has to know every single question under the sun. And here was her wanting to go off like a bull in a china shop, and for once in my life I was a bit reserved and go a bit, you know, something I've had enough of all this travelling, Alexandra. I'm not really into none of this.
So I drag him because by this point, even though it's a direct sales company and I'm very, it's a pyramid scheme or blah, 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 I'm like, this is really amazing. And I knew that Scentsy had I knew it was ethically created. I knew that they didn't treat the people who made the products badly. That mattered to me. I knew that the company was very solvent. I knew that the company had these really important values that meant something to me. The value of being simple in your business, just being straightforward, the value of being authentic, be yourself. And I think we are honestly ourselves, for the good and the bad bits.
You know something?
We don't fake it.
It's out of our comfort zone to be fake.
Yeah.
When people tell us to behave, we're like, this is really hard for us.
Yeah.
So
we are what you see on the tin.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important in your business. Be who you are. People will love you and people will hate you, and just be yourself. That's all that matters.
It means you really hate.
Mama, not hate in a bad way, but just they
hate's
just
an
like,
emotion
I
where
don't like you guys.
they love you too.
Yeah, they do. It's very close. And generosity, giving more than you take, which as an owner of a fair trade business was already something that I was very, very used to doing. And so we went and we had the fortune to meet Chuck Thompson, who was like, hey, I'm Orville's brother. And I'm like, you're the brother of the green duck, because that's what Orville is to us. He is a green duck hand puppet, isn't he?
Yeah, not now.
Obviously not now. Now he's the owner of the company and he's a great dude. But then, no, he was a green duck. And you have to Google Orville. Orville the duck, and you will see. And I was like, yeah, not impressed. But Scott sat down and grilled Chuck for about an hour and a half. And came away and said, that's it, we're joining the business. It has a really good ethical base.
No, my exact words were, we're joining the business and there's a lady over there who you need to go and speak to and possibly get in your team.
Which we now know you should never do at an opportunity event. But then...
But we learned.
we learned, you see. So we started our business. We were the first ever... See, it's taken us 8 minutes to tell you. We are the first ever consultants to join Scentsy in Europe, along with about 4 others exactly at the same time. So we are number 5, and number 5 is my lucky number. So there you go. We are consultants number 5. And we joined the business, and I always had the goal to be superstar director. I say we joined the business, I joined the business.
She didn't actually have a clue how the business actually worked, but she joined the business.
No, but I joined the business, and I knew you had to sell, and I knew you had to build a team.
And see, there's another example is, you don't have to know the ins and outs of everything.
No.
Just get on with it and learn the ins and outs on the way.
I joined because I had a why, and my why was I wanted to have a successful business so that I could live my life on my terms with my family and be home.
But for the
and
first
be a mummy.
24 months, you really didn't know how the conversation.
Oh my goodness me, no, and I still have questions now. I still like, oh, active consultants, does that count?
Luckily, I kind of knew the first.
He knew that bit. However, here is the man that didn't open the workstation until I hit director after 6 months. So, what do you have to say about that?
I was actively earning money for the family.
Yeah. So we fast forward to 2012.
But that's the day I took over.
It isn't. We made director in 6 months. We helped found a huge team in Ireland, blah, blah, blah. And so it goes on. And so there are lots of things that we've been able to help other people with. It's more about the successes other people have had. And we've had an amazingly successful team.
And if you...
So it's about that. So then we lose our business, 2012, our other business.
My business.
Yeah, and we have our lowest point where we have a guy from St. Vincent de Paul, I don't know if you have it here, who gives us food vouchers and talks about how we can stop the electric being cut off, and we have no money at this point.
And basically my business went out of business due to us being authentic, due to us paying our taxes, and then people undercutting us and not paying their taxes.
Yeah.
And I had a choice, okay? We could have grasped people in who weren't paying the taxes. We could have reported them.
Wouldn't have made a difference.
But it wouldn't have made a difference. But
So then we lose the mainstay of our income, and then it's a case of like Orville and Heidi had, and if you're watching this with a view to joining Scentsy, because we have some amazing offers, you can Google Orville and Heidi Thompson and you can watch their Scentsy story, and you can hear about how they were $750,000 in debt. We were never that far in debt. Why? Because my failing.
I didn't mean it like that. Oh my God.
Oh God. Hi Orville. He doesn't mean it like that. We had never carried much debt, and the debt that we carried in the business was stock. So that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Their $750,000 was due to a failed business, not because they spent wildly on credit cards.
I'm the type of person who, and the rumours go round for my family, is like, when I'm broke, I'm down to my last 1,000.
Well, in this case, he was down to his last
100.
He had no money.
No.
We literally had no money.
And if I tell the story quickly, we were in, I told Alexandra in February, this would be February 2012, that we were going to be, that my business was on the downturn.
Yeah.
And once again, Alexandra would normally be the negative Nelly. Well, that's it then, blah, blah, blah. She goes, no, but you have to go out there, you have to make it happen for the family.
See, I've been too Scentsy by then.
So Mrs. Positive Pete, I'm normally the positive one, Mrs. Positive Peter, so I go away not really telling her much, working more hours to earn less money, and it came to July. Was it July?
Our first ever Scentsy incentive trip that we earned.
Yeah,
two.
My business had gone. We were in Las Vegas, my business had gone. And we were getting picked up in limos, because this was a free, all expenses paid Scentsy trip. We were at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas, 5-star hotel in Vegas, a nice jacuzzi in the room, eating out everywhere. But the realism of it was we had no money in the bank.
He stole food from the Scentsy buffet. We didn't
steal
the food.
Oh my
he
God.
filled up napkins with food so we could have breakfast in the mornings. That is how bad it was.
And milk for a cup of tea.
Yeah, it was grim. It was really grim. And in that time from 2012, losing our business, where we said we'd have to swing for the fence like Orville and Heidi did, and we just had to make it work. We've eaten a lot of baked beans. I've stitched holes in an awful lot of clothes.
Well, month one, when we decided to go all in with our Scentsy business, and
tough.
Month one we were able to pay for our rent, we were able to pay for the bills,
and no food.
But we couldn't afford food on the table, so we had to swallow our pride, and we had to get some food vouchers from.
Baked beans are great.
From St. Vincent de Paul.
Yeah.
And they looked after us for about 3 or 4 weeks. We paid them back, and we paid them back 100 times over. But we are really grateful for those kind of times. But we made it our goal.
Don't ever worry about asking for help, guys, if you need it, and don't be ashamed.
Because you can repay them. But we set a goal for the month after to be able to pay for our rent, pay for the bills, and to put food on the table.
Baked beans.
Abracadabra. It might have been baked beans, but we still managed to do it.
And it was and luckily, if there's any luck in what happened to us, it was coming into those really good months, like your August, September, October, those really, really bumper months. And fast forward, we had 2013 where we launched in Australia. I didn't know anybody in Australia when it launched, and I was also expecting our daughter Thea as well. So we were super, super pregnant, very, very sick, became immobile during the pregnancy and afterwards because of complications, which would have meant I'd have to register as disabled. I'm not registered as disabled because I have my Scentsy business, and I've been able to work through some pretty tough health issues, but I've been able to because it's my home business.
Parking space.
No. So we go through that. I don't know anybody in Australia, and on day one we sign
18 people.
18 people, and the most Australian consultants on any one team. And you know why? Because we worked our angles. You know what we worked? We worked YouTube. We didn't have Facebook Live videos then, but we worked YouTube.
We worked Instagram.
We worked Instagram, and we worked
Pinterest and our blog.
Networking on Facebook, and we asked, do you know anybody in Australia who wants an amazing business? This is what it's done for us. We shared who we were authentic. And then we've gone on, we've launched in New Zealand, we've launched
Spain and France.
And then you come to 2014-15, where now we're helping other people to achieve their directorships. We haven't had an easy run of this. We hit director in 6 months, and it then took us another
3 years?
4 years.
3.5 years.
Four
3.5 years.
Another 3.5 years on top of that, so 4 years. Can you see how we work together to hit star director and then superstar director? And in that time, we've lost a business. We had overinflated numbers from issues in our team. We've lost Scott's business. We've lived hand to mouth, literally. We've invested every spare penny we ever had in our business to make it work. We've driven the miles and put the miles in to launch it in other countries. Flown. We've flown around the world. We've met our team. That's one thing I will say. The biggest thing I think we did for our business was we flew to Australia. We put every single penny we had and bought airfares to Australia. Our amazing mother-in-law had Thea for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and we separated for the first time since she was born, and we spent time with our team in Australia. Within 9 days of returning, we hit Star Director, and within 2 months, we hit Superstar.
And within 12 months, and going back again, and also our business in Region 2, we now have, I think it's around 30 directors in our organisation, and 10 of those are on our front line. So in New Zealand, in Australia, and in Region 2.
And Region 1, we have our first
Region
Canadian
1,
director who is under one of our star directors. We have star directors. So I guess what we're trying to say to you is we're not trumpet blowing, because you reach a point in your Scentsy business where the greater joy comes not from your own successes, but from the successes of the people that you help to mentor in your team and outside your team.
Let me tell you, can I just tell a quick story?
And it's absolutely amazing. And our journey, let us tell them before you tell your bit. Do you know where we are right now in Spain? We're in Spain, and we live here. We actually live here. We moved here.
And we didn't just get to move here like this. We travelled around the world.
We've been around the world in the last...
To search a home.
Yeah, to find where we wanted to live. And we came here, and we started our Scentsy team, and we fell in love with here, and we've worked for the last 12 months with the goal to move here, and we made it happen.
Well, then, the secret...
So goals are really important.
The secret to success in this business is helping other people. Yeah. And I'll be absolutely honest with you, we got our best paycheck ever, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I looked at other team members who are in our organisation, who we work with, sent me their pay, and I looked at their pay and got excited for their pay before I looked at our pay, because that's what it's all about, okay? If you forget about yourself and just help other people build a business, then you automatically get rewarded by the company, okay?
Yeah, and it is not a pyramid scheme, is it? It's just ridiculous.
Oh my God, Jesus. Working for McDonald's is a pyramid scheme, because
the man at the top earns.
Yeah, but if it's a pyramid scheme, guys, it wouldn't be here. It's 12 years old this year, it wouldn't be here. But that is the joy of this business, is helping other people. It's like, my mum was a nurse, and she used to love helping other people, helping people get better. I see us as financial doctors, and we're like Scentsy nurses or Scentsy doctors.
Money buys time.
Yeah.
Money buys you the chance to have more time doing the things you want in life. Being a mother, taking up Spanish lessons, being able to move countries, being able to work our business anywhere we want. And for those of you that are already in Scentsy, we would say that 3 top tips: work consistently every single day, do the same things really well and improve on them.
Yeah, and
it's not rocket science.
It ain't rocket science. And you know something, and this is something I say a lot to our team, is like, you've seen these Facebook groups, people moaning and groaning about stuff. Like there was a sale last month, and the whole world kicked off because Scentsy didn't communicate in the way they should have done. But
the sale was huge and a massive success.
The sale was huge, but we did a sale for Alexander's old business, and we had to pack the stuff. We had to go on our website, downgrade everything. We had to, contact all our customers, let them know when it was all coming. We had to go to the post office, pull all the parcels in there. We had to do all the marketing ourselves.
So what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, this business is so simple. If there's a sale announced, all you have to do is just share it.
Sell it.
Simple.
All you need to do is recruit people,
Party hard.
If you want to build a team, all you have to do is bring people in and teach them the things that, you know, people like us would have taught you, and you just have to love the product and let your passion sell it. Tip number 2, have goals. Those who are oriented on achieving something, short-term goals for the month, mid-term goals for the 6 months, and long-term goals for the year and beyond, they are people. Mr. Scott, look at me, not the lovely joggy ladies.
This is what Scentsy Life can bring you guys.
Yeah,
if
lovely joggy ladies. Being goal orientated helps give you direction, and it helps you get over the speed bumps, like, you know, the losing your other business and things like that. It can bring you to places like this. It focuses the mind. It focuses your ability to help other people more. And tip number 3, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around most with. Make sure those people are on the same wavelength as you, support you, build you up, are positive, and just bring to your life rather than take it away.
It's a shame that you're not the sum of the one person in looks while you hang around, because you would be extremely good looking if you were.
You really are a bit of a muppet at times, aren't you?
Ba-ching!
Seriously,
She is very beautiful, but
whatever. This is a serious business video.
Sorry.
And that is
Here's
what
me
it's
being
like.
authentic. Sorry.
Okay, ego boy. And by the way, ego, and we can go into ego. Ego is self-esteem. Scott has lots of that, don't you?
Ego's not self.
Ego is just, it's having self-esteem, and it's having all self-importance, and you're full of self-esteem, but you
Not
don't think you're the most important.
Oh my
person.
God, no. And that's the thing.
Because that's me.
Have confidence in yourself with this, you know?
Your confidence, if you're looking at this with a view to joining Scentsy, your confidence will grow. You will see that the magic happens when you get outside your comfort zone, and you can become the people that you watch on the screen. I am nowhere near the person I was when I joined in Scentsy. I have learned to always give more than I take, totally be myself. I don't care what other people have to say about me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that as long as I know I've done the best and been the best person I can be and the best version of me, then other people's opinions don't pay my bills. I've learned not to be so sensitive. I've learned to bounce back. I've learned to be able to help other people without expecting anything in return, and know that that feels really good. I've learned not to bite as much when people say. So, what have you learned?
I've learned that, like, being a male in this business, I could go and do anything else I wanted, you know? Like, most males want their own thing, and I understand that, and most males want their own, you know? Like, this is a joint business.
Manly thing.
This is 50-50. It's not 51-49. It's not 70-30.
Should be.
It should be 70-30 my way. It's a 50-50 business, and what I've learned is that I don't need to do anything else. If I plow my energy into our family business, then I can earn just as much money or even more money than if I went and did my own thing.
So be all in, and Debbie can explain what that means, but it means, you know, if you're gonna start a business like this, just totally commit to it. And we've given 5 years of our life to it, and our life is utterly different. We are different and better people.
And our business did change, and this is nothing, not saying that our success is down to me, because it's not, but our business did change when we went all in as a family, because we were a family business, and that's what really changed our business.
Yeah. So if you are in Scentsy, I've given you our top tips, and I wish you all the very best. The Wickfrees always welcome you to watch our YouTube channel and to engage with us.
Put Alexandra Wickfree into the search bar, and
yes.
say now this will be on YouTube, so just click on
like,
the video and subscribe.
Like the video, subscribe.
We have some great new videos coming in the new year, some training videos, so stay tuned.
So I'm being told by the boss. And like if you are not involved in Scentsy yet, then I can honestly say that if you make a very small investment, you get 3 times as much as you invest back in your business kit. And if you want to work hard, if you want to change the life you have, if you want to leave behind whatever grey skies you have in your life and find blue skies,
there's lots of them here.
Can do it. And we are living proof. We are nothing special. We really are nothing special. We're just 2 people that had a goal. We're just two people that had a goal, and we would love to talk to you more about how you can take up the opportunity, especially as we've got some kit deals coming. Yay! I'll put the information box in the box below. You can put it in because he's my secretary.
Can I share one last tip with you?
Well,
okay?
you're going to be quick because this is 25 minutes.
If you're interested in the kit, don't go for the cheap kit just because it's cheap. Go for the full shebang. It's only an extra €50, $50.
Invest in yourself because you're worth it. The feedback we've had so far is that people want when they join the business, they realise the value of actually spending 50 quid more and getting the really big kit with the really big testers and the really extra warmer.
It's like you're going on a real fast motorway, and what do you want? Do you want the big 4x4? Do you want to be driving the slow Mini down the motorway?
You want the 4x4.
You want the 4x4.
So there you go, sir. I want to say thank you very much for joining us.
Subscribe to the channel.
Like the video. And hasta luego, amigas y guapas.